Dags, Thomas.
Tak.
Værsgo at tage plads i sofaen der.
Tak skal du have.
Jakob Ørnberg is one of the psychiatrists in Denmark who has most experience with ADHD. Here he explains the process of determining whether an adult has ADHD. What adults often come to me about are not actual ADHD symptoms, but rather stress symptoms. Symptoms caused by them struggling for many years to compensate for their attention difficulties. I would call that broad stress symptoms. I never understood why I couldn't just behave properly in school. There could be multiple reasons why adults choose to be examined for ADHD. You can divide it into two rough boxes. Some adults have become so burdened that they're not happy anymore. They simply don't thrive psychologically. Bothers you is your temper, right? Yeah, that it shouldn't be in control of so many things in my life. It may be an adult who's become self-employed or has a responsible job where you have to give much more than usual. It may be an adult who's moved in with another partner and needs to pay regard to another person. So there are some that have obvious symptoms of stress. Then there are some whose children have been diagnosed with ADHD and they see the symptoms in themselves and become curious to know if they've also got ADHD and what it means for them. The problems people come with can also vary a lot. It may be a woman who for many years has had symptoms of depression and anxiety, who's broken down with stress several times. It may be a man who's experienced episodic binge drinking when he was really stressed out, or who has increasing temper issues and has become easily frustrated to the point where it's difficult for him to deal with. Behind those symptoms, you may find clear indications of ADHD. When some people feel awful, they drink and they actually become even more depressed. Is this something you've experienced? Oh, I'll have a few drinks and that's it. A few drinks during the evening. Across the symptoms on the surface, there are some common characteristics in ADHD. We know that ADHD is very much about the brain's ability to regulate, among other things, your energy and your level of attention. And that may be expressed in many different ways. Some people may be sad and anxious because they're not feeling well, and others may become more agitated, hectic and chaotic. So different expressions or different symptom pictures may actually be the same thing. The brain is bored and needs to do something else. I get lots of good ideas and many of them work, then some of them don't. Depending on how clear the signs of ADHD are, it may take 2 to 3 consultations or more until the psychiatrist can make a diagnosis. And it's always good if relatives or close friends can participate. When you come here as an adult, it's most important to hear from you about your experiences and thoughts. But it's also really good and important to hear it from someone who knows you well. It can be your parents, if they're not too old or can't recall clearly. It can be your partner or your good friend. I have some patients who bring their ex-partners, people who've known you for many years. Now we've spoken a few times, Thomas, and your girlfriend was nice enough to attend also, and she's known you for a few years. According to Jakob Ørnberg, many adults feel relieved to go through with an evaluation. As long as you can control it, it's a really good thing. It's something you can use to create something. The explanation that the difficult things are caused by issues that they're not necessarily to blame for can be a great relief for many people. It's important to know that it's not that you don't have responsibility for yourself as a human being, even if you have a diagnosis, but you get a better and more realistic explanation of why things happened the way they did and why you felt the way you have. Yes?